Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you on a very relaxing Saturday for Nutralite Leave 360 program. My name is Suresh. I am the host for today's session. Before we get started, I would like to congratulate each one of you for religiously following this program. Most of us are actually attending this session, posting all the photos of our meals every day in a very religious manner. And we all know that the success of this program is dependent on how seriously we are following it. And a big congratulations to all of you for that. We have seen this is the third program which is happening, third batch which is happening. We have seen first batch and second batch. People who are very seriously followed it and they have started their own community. There is a big transformation happened in them. And they have started their own community actually. So my humble request to all of you, people who are not yet serious, no, please be serious because actually the information which is shared here is very, very valuable. You won't get it if you get into some internet or something. You have a lot of information, but the information which is giving it here, it is in a very capsule form, which is relevant to us, which is very, very handy and all connected to the personal experience. For example, yesterday, Dr. Shyam has shared his personal story connecting, the health of his father. It was so very, we were all able to connect with our own father. Thank you so much, for that, doctor. And before we start, actually, let me introduce, Dr. Shyam. Even before that, I just want to, talk a bit on yesterday's topic. When we are talking about, interesting topic, yesterday's topic was slimming, chewing for slimming. How can we how can we slim it, by chewing it? And they also said 32 times we had to chew before it goes inside. And it also said almost 1 liter of saliva is actually getting produced in the mouth every day. Very interesting, right? And I can tell you, today's topic is even more interesting. I can tell you. Before we do that, let me introduce a very, very important special person. As I said, this is Dr. Shyam. Dr. Shyam is our favorite. We all know Dr. Shyam, and for the last almost 1 year, Doctor is actually attending this session. Actually giving insights wherever he is there. Whether he is in Ada, Michigan, or yesterday he said he was in Chennai. Every day he is coming at 7 o'clock and sharing his insights. Thank you so much, Dr. Shyam, for that. And when I talk about Dr. Shyam is the Director of Innovation and Science, leading emerging market innovation science portfolio. Dr. Shyam is, actually leading the India Innovation Science Centers based out of Gurgaon, Belgaum, Chennai, and Mathura. He had received his PhD from University of Texas and postdoctoral fellowship from Harvard Medical School, Boston. Dr. Shyam, the session is all yours, sir. We are all eagerly waiting for your session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suresh Kumar. It's fantastic hearing you, and a good morning to everyone from me. So I traveled yesterday to Kerala to see my dad. So I'm here in Kerala, and I see him, and he is as young and vigorous. And then I was thinking, and I had my thought when I came here, I should have a topic which is very appropriate, which reflects, the way he lives. So I was very thrilled I was very thrilled to share this discovery which happened in Australia on longevity science. As you know, my dad is 95, right? And now I'm linking it back to his longevity, right? The way he's living, and perhaps I know in doing this conversation, I'll share with you some of my glimpses about him. But today, before I do that, I just want to introduce Aparna Damle. She's one of the best scientists in innovation science. So I'm very happy to have her here, talk about science-backed diets. And so it's a very fascinating topic. And this is something we all should know. And as Suresh Kumar was telling all of you, it is your family's journey with you, right? This is so critical for our health, for our well-being. Our health is not a joke. Our health is so important. I have seen people suffering because of the lack of health, not lack of wealth. It's a lack of health which makes people suffer, right? So I would encourage all of you to really take this very seriously. And I'm here every day because I've learned so much throughout my career and my university, my Texas and Harvard and different companies I worked for. For me, it is very important to share the wisdom, the knowledge I've gained over these past years, right? So not to take too much of the time. So today, I'm going to talk to you about a simple but incredibly exciting topic. So it is imagine that you can enhance your life expectancy and health with just short bursts of daily activity. Yes, it's that straightforward and effective, right? So this research led University of Sydney revealed something phenomenal. Engaging in just 3 to 4 minutes of vigorous physical activity. 3 to 4 minutes of vigorous physical activity every day can slash the risk of death from any cause by a staggering 40%, and from cardiovascular disease and cancer by an astonishing 49%. Think about that, the impact of this small bursts of activity. So this is not about hitting the gym, which I do, and I do this for small bursts of activity throughout my day. But I do, of course, I add that with my gym and everything. But this is not about gym. It's about infusing energy into our everyday task. So this magic formula is called Vilpa. Vilpa is vigorous, V for vigorous, I for intermittent, L for lifestyle, P for physical, A for activity. Vigorous, intermittent, lifestyle, physical activity, or Vilpa, right? So what does it include? It includes quick, intense activities like dashing for the bus. But if you don't have to catch the bus, you can dash for something else, right? Power walking, doing errands, right? If you're going to the shop, you move with all your josh, all your energy, right? And then playing actively with your children or running after your grandkids, just for a minute, right? So we are not talking prolonged working out, prolonged sessions, but short, energetic spurts integrated seamlessly into our daily routines. And the best part, you don't need a gym membership. You don't need equipment. Your daily life is your playground. And that is the secret I believe my dad is. That secret. He was, I remember him seeing all the time, walking fast. Whether he has to go a short distance, he will always walk fast. He will leave us all behind, right? Even maybe 20 years ago, he will walk as fast as I could, right? So he was very vigorous, very active. And I remember we grew up in Mumbai. Of course, so that explains my Hindi, right? But we grew up in Mumbai, but he used to travel in the local trains. And I remember the way he would be jumping into the train. That physical activity, I'm telling you, made a big difference, perhaps. But I'm not telling you need to jump onto the Mumbai train. But the study involved over 25,000 individuals. This study is an actual study which involved 25,000 individuals that shows that those who incorporated 4 to 5 bouts of willpower daily, 4 to 5, okay, 4 to 5 bouts of willpower daily, witnessed the most significant health benefits. And we are talking about activities lasting on an average just 45 seconds to 1 minute, right? 1 minute of running to the shop, actively running, and that kind of four of those what helped throughout the journey, right? I mean, of course, you need to do it every day. There's no weekends. For me, I don't have weekends because health has no weekends. Health doesn't rest on weekends. Our body doesn't rest on weekends. Our body is functioning. Our body needs our support. Who will give the support other than us? We have to support our body. So body doesn't say, it is Saturday. Let's rest. No, body has to undergo the metabolism. Body has to undergo to make sure we don't get diseases. The body is working 24/7. So how are we helping the body, right? So for me, there's no vacation. That's why I'm here today on Saturday morning when I'm visiting my dad, because I want to pass this message. It's so important for us, right? So let's embrace this accelerating and accessible approach to health. Let's make life not just longer, but dynamically healthier one burst of activity at a time, right? So without much ado, let me invite Aparna Damle to the stage. Aparna, stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Sham. And I mean, really, really informative talk which you gave about Vilpa. I mean, that is something really, really interesting. Thank you so much. Of course, health is wealth, and that is a powerful message which all of us should remember each day of our life. So to go in hand with that, today we'll talk about different kinds of diets which are backed by science. Uh, so let me share my screen. Yeah. So as Dr. Sham said, I mean, it's not only about one thing, but it is about following all the foundation of health principles, to have a healthier life. And one such aspect is diet. Now, I'm sure a very common question nutritionists come across in their day-to-day life is, from their clients is, which is that best diet I should be following? Is there a best diet you can suggest me? So there's no such magic diet, one magic diet by which people can lose weight or have a magical change in their health, right? But however, there are various diets which are followed, which have been developed or rather evolved in various regions depending on the availability of a specific kind of food or their palatability or their traditional aspects inbuilt into it. So today we'll talk about those diets which are backed by science. Now, when you say diet, I mean, we have heard about a lot of type of diets: vegan diet, paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, uh, intermittent diet. It can be so many of them. Keto diet, which is very popular. So, are these all diets, or is there further bifurcation? So, yeah, interestingly, uh, the intermittent fasting and veganism, what we talk about, is not a diet because it doesn't talk about any specific dietary uh, group of foods, right? But then it talks about what kind of diet one should have, what is the approach one should follow, and that's how they are more of strategies. While Mediterranean diet, keto diet, paleo diet, they define as to what are the broad group of foods which is included in each of these diets, and that's how they fall under the bucket of diet. Now, let us understand one by one about each of these strategies and diets. Now, intermittent fasting is something which has got very popular. You have all uh, heard about it, or many of them, I'm sure, might be even following this intermittent fasting, wherein there is 16 hours of fasting, including your sleep for 8 hours and the rest of the time when you don't eat. And you have only 8 hours of eating period, right? It can be from morning 8 to afternoon 2 when you stop eating, or you can start from 10 and go up to 6 in the evening, and the rest of the time you do not eat. That is what is all about intermittent fasting, wherein we don't define what you're supposed to eat. In 8 hours, do you constantly eat? But then it only says that it's 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of uh, eating. Now, there are several papers, published papers, which do talk about the benefits of intermittent fasting, which we will talk about later. Um, the two types of fasting, which is more popular than the others, as I said, there can be any kind of window: 16-18 or 12-12 or 14-10. But then this is the most common form of intermittent fasting, which typically is followed, wherein there are 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating window period. While there is another one which is also followed um, uh, um, typically, which is also known as 5 is to 2, wherein 5 days of regular eating and 2 days of fasting, or it can be 1 day of fasting as well in a week, wherein you do not also consume on that day when you fast any kind of juice as well. It has to be only water or maybe unsweetened tea. These are typically followed when we talk about intermittent fasting. And as I said, there's a lot of published papers, meta-analysis that they've shown that intermittent fasting does have a lot of benefits. It helps in weight reduction. It helps manage diabetes because it takes care of insulin resistance. It also reduces our cholesterol levels, right, which is a very important factor in various metabolic conditions. It promotes our heart health, it keeps our heart healthy because we are not eating all the time, but we are giving sufficient time for our body to recover, recoup, right? Because digestion is a very intensive process. The whole process of digestion, which includes assimilation, storage. So the body is now getting more time to recoup or concentrate or focus its energy on other aspects, and that's how it helps in overall optimal health. It also reduces inflammation as a result, because as we have been talking about, inflammation is a underlying reason for various metabolic or lifestyle issues. But however, it can have its own demerits also or disadvantages also, because we all are, more or less used to having at least 3 meals a day. But now in intermittent fasting, the window of eating is restricted, and that's how it can also cause, or if you're fasting on some of the days in the week, it might lead to headache, dizziness, or nausea. But then you have to gradually get into such kind of diets, or sorry, strategies, because that restrictive eating can also influence your eating pattern as well, because 16 hours of extended fasting might it can lead you to eat more during that 8 hours of eating window, right? And that's how it's important that we get gradually into this kind of dietary approach, and don't rush into it. Another one which is quite famous, or becoming more and more popular, is veganism, which is all about avoiding eating meat, eggs, dairy, or any product which comes from animals, including honey. So this has a lot of benefits as well. It is good for our heart. But however, because we are avoiding a lot of important nutrients or foods which give us important nutrients, there might be deficiencies also occurring because of this. Therefore, when you follow veganism, it is important that there has to be a balance. We need to understand, which nutrients are being provided by which kind of food groups, and try to include it in our in a weekly diet at least, if not daily. Otherwise, there might be deficiencies of vital nutrients like zinc, iron, vitamin D, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, especially which comes from fish. And vegetarians or vegan do not get omega-3 fatty acids at all. There are certain foods which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, but it does not contain DHA and EPA, which comes primarily from um, fish. But however, there are sources, now being explored, which are non-fish derived omega as well. But however, this is not something which is commonly available, and therefore one needs to be very careful while following veganism. Even B12, that is a very important nutrient required in my minuscule amount, but then it has a very important role to play in our body, in our nervous system, our formation of blood. Otherwise, we might end up having various health issues. Coming to ketogenic diet, again, this is a very popular diet, which typically is, being recommended to lose weight or shed those extra kilos, wherein we have a high amount of fat and a very low amount of carbohydrate. So it's a complete switch to a typical diet, right? In a typical diet, we typically have 65 to 75% of carbohydrates, and we limit the fat between 5 to 10%, and the rest of the um, you know portion of our plate is occupied by protein. But in this diet, it's exactly reversed, right? Wherein there is high amount of fat which is taken, which is converted to something called ketone bodies, which is utilized by our body as fuel instead of glucose. Now, this was a diet which was primarily developed for epileptic uh, patients, for epilepsy, wherein they had to restrict them with from glucose to control the condition. But then eventually it became popular as a diet to lose weight as well. If it is followed, correctly as per proper guidelines, it has a lot of health benefits. Again, it's been studied scientifically as well, wherein it manages diabetes and also pre-diabetes. We all know India is a diabetes capital. Now, and pre-diabetes is something many of us may not be even aware about, and these kind of diet does help in managing them. It builds muscles or retains muscles rather, and also helps in weight loss. However, as I mentioned, there are always cons also associated with every kind of diet, and if we do not follow it as per the nutritionist recommendation, or randomly follow just a high fat diet, it does not work that way. It has to have good fat in our meals and not any kind of fat, and that might lead to nutrient deficiency if we do not have the right kind of diet. It can cause constipation, again, because we are not used to this kind of diet typically. And therefore, suddenly switching over to a keto diet can have bearing on our bowel movements also. And it's a difficult diet to follow, right? It is not an easy diet to follow. It may not be easily available also. It has to be planned much in advance to have a ketogenic diet. And of course, it also can induce disordered eating, because we are dividing our body of carbohydrates, and our body also revolts, and someday or one of those days you might end up having a lot of junk. Another type of diet is the paleo diet. So paleo diet is, inspired by the caveman's diet. The kind of diet our um, ancestors, used to follow when they used to dwell in caves, which was more of uncooked food, very minimally processed food, which was high in protein, high in fiber, because they also included a lot of plant-based food. As we all know, fiber primarily comes from plant-based food, which is your fruits and vegetables as well, and that also has been shown to help in weight reduction. In this, however, the suggestion is to avoid grains, dairy, beans, legumes, and sugars, as they were never available at that time when human used to be heavily dependent on animals and plants, and there was no farming practices, or farming, maybe growing plants or even farming of animals. So these were typically not available at that time, and that's how the paleo diet is about. It also has a lot of benefits. It helps in weight reduction, and as we lose weight, it also has a positive benefit on various blood markers, be it glucose, cholesterol, your insulin levels, or your insulin resistance, including your blood pressure. All of them are managed well when you have a well-rounded paleo diet. However, it has its own demerits, because we are removing the whole grains, that also has a risk of developing heart diseases and diabetes. Another interesting and popular diet is the Mediterranean diet, and this is a diet which was traditionally followed by people who used to live near the Mediterranean Sea, which was France, Spain, Greece, and Italy. This kind of diet typically has fruits, vegetables, lots of nuts, whole grains, fish, and lean meat, which is heart healthy fats, right? Uh, they completely avoid red meat. There is no processed food, no added sugar, and refined grains is completely avoided. Again, there are a lot of research which has happened on this particular diet, and all the research points towards its benefits because it is a well-rounded diet. It gives you all the essential nutrients which our body requires. It is very balanced and flavorful. We might have, heard about the burrito bowl or burrito wrap, right? Because that has all our uh, important food groups, legumes, whole grains, uh, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, your fish or your lean meat. So therefore, it is a very balanced and very tasty kind of diet. It helps again in diabetes management. It is good for our mental health. It helps in weight management. It reduces inflammation. Now, digestion is a very inflammatory process, I can say, where there's a lot of inflammation, and including a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is high in antioxidant, reduces these inflammatory markers. And again, inflammation control means controlling various other lifestyle related disorders. And of course, it's very environmental friendly. However, there are a lot of cons or disadvantages as well. Now, there are no set guidelines given for Mediterranean diet as to this is how we need to follow. This has to be the portion of each of these food groups in your food. And it includes a lot of different variety of food, and therefore there might be a challenge in making this kind of food, having the right kind of ingredients on a day-to-day basis, and requires a lot of planning. And as I've been saying, whenever we follow any kind of diet, unless we know, what food groups provide us, which of the nutrients, we might fall short of one or the other nutrient. And as I mentioned, it has a lot of different foods in groups involved. It might be a lot of time consuming activity as well. So now you have learned about a lot of different kinds of diet. Some of the underlying basic principles of all these diets, why they have been successful, is it's devoid of various hyper palatable food, right? The junk food, which is rich or high in glucose, high in sugar, um, refined flour or salt, or high fats, right? All of them are suggesting the same thing, and many of you might be following. But then the recommendation or suggestion from us is please follow or take proper guidance while following these diets, because as we talked about, it has its own pros and cons, and that instead of giving you benefit might have more of side effects. So one important concept while following any kind of diet is the calorie in and calorie out, right? This we have been talking about in various of our sessions as well, wherein when we have to lose or reduce our weight, it is important that the energy balance is shifted, right? Wherein we burn more calories than we consume, right? So you can see this arrow, we eat less and burn more. But then when we talk about eating less, it has to be a well-rounded diet, right? It has to be nutrient dense, but calorie poor, right? That is the kind of diet one should have while following any kind of diets we talked about, which and when we talk about calorie out or the energy expenditure, we talked about BMR, the basal metabolic rate, which is the maximum amount of energy consumption activity. Exercise associated thermogenesis, which is more of the physical activity which we indulge in, and the NEAT, which is non-exercise associated thermogenesis, which is through various daily activities. Maybe that will also include what Dr. Sham talked about today, right? Which is also something part of the NEAT, and which we should be including in our everyday activity. And the thermic effect of food also, that is the digestion process, also contributes to our energy expenditure. So as I mentioned, more of calorie has to be burnt rather than consumption, and that's how calorie deficit is what is the most important factor when we talk about any kind of diet, right? We talked about intermittent fasting, veganism, Mediterranean diet, keto, paleo. All of them only work when we have a calorie deficit diet followed, right? Anything in excess is not good for our health, be it vegan or Mediterranean, anything excess is not good, right? Similarly, even in calorie, we need to restrict the amount of calorie which we are consuming. Now, we are also well equipped, well aware how do we calculate our calorie, or we should reach out to our nutritionist and identify what is our calorie requirement, because in our journey, again, you would have learned that our calorie requirement also keeps changing. As we lose weight, the body's calorie requirement also changes. And before you hit the plateau, we need to understand the calorie requirement also. We need to keep on reducing or balancing as per our body's requirement. And that is the underlying principle of every diet. Each diet, another important aspect is the dietary adherence. We need to, when we are following a diet, we need to adhere to it. And if we do not adhere to those basic principles of that particular diet, there's no point following any of those diets. So these are some of the important aspects one should remember while following any kind of diet. It can be a balanced diet, which we typically recommend as part of our healthy weight, healthy living program as well, where we do not recommend any specific diet, but a well-rounded balanced diet which has every food group, every macromolecule, every micronutrient included in your diet, so that you're not deficient in any nutrient. But it is calorie deficit. That is, it is less than we consume less while we break down or lose our calorie more. And important factor is to adhere to this diet. So these are some principles one need to follow while following the diet. So with that, we end our session, but the important one is the activity of the day. Now you can also share, is there a specific diet which you've been following? Reach out to your nutritionist, whether, are you including all your food groups, and also send a screenshot of, to show how much calories you have been burning, right? And especially today, how much of the calories have you burnt? So these are some of the things you can do for today as an activity. With that, I would say goodbye and have a good day. Over to you, Suresh. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aparna, for a wonderful session. Maybe I think this topic is one of the hottest topic. And when we are talking about the weight management program, healthy living, healthy weight management program, that is a basic thing about our Live 360 program. This is one of the very important topic. Everyone talks about. One second. Yeah, everyone talks about, see, when we are talking about calorie weight management, everyone talks what are all the different diets that we have in front of us, which one to follow, which one not to follow. Now we have seen what is the benefit of all these, diet programs. We have seen the diet program, especially now, Madam has spoken about intermittent fasting, veganism, keto diet, paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, and all these diets, the pros and cons of these, particular diets. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful. Thanks a lot for a wonderful session, and thanks, Dr. Shyam. It was, always, pleasure, hearing you. It was a wonderful session again today. Thank you so much. And I think Minal has joined. We are actually waiting for the exercise session now. Minal, we had a wonderful session. We had topics on different types of diet and how it can actually help us. Okay, and now the turn of exercise is coming into picture now. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sureshji. Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's session. So let's get started. We'll start with some mat stretching today, and then we'll move on to some workout on the mat. So please come on mat with me. I'll also share the it. So we'll start with on the force movement. Your hands right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. So we'll start with your toes tucked in and stretch. You're gonna lengthen your spine and stretch it back. Lengthen your spine and stretch it back. When you stretch it back, you feel the stretch in your entire feet. Tuck your toes in as you stretch back. Give it a little time and then forward. Again, stretch back, lengthen. Again, forward. Stretch back, lengthen. Forward, breathe out. Breathe out as much as you can. And with every breath, try to go better. Stretch. And again, back. Stretch. And again, back. This time, toes tucked in. And now stretch out. A nice deep inhale, and you're going to stretch up. Exhale and down. Squeeze, navel tucked in. Squeeze as high as you can. Again, inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. A nice deep hold and stretch. This time, you're going to stretch your opposite hand and the opposite leg out. So stretch your opposite leg and the opposite hand. If you are not able to do both, if you're not able to lift the hand and the leg together, start with only leg. You're going to stretch that single leg out. And if this brings pressure to your knees, hold on to something under your knees. Anything which can be a little soft, a towel, extra cushioning. Hands here and stretch that leg. We're going to start with simple leg lifts like 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you're lifting the leg, you're not moving the lower limb. You'll not do the movement through the knees. You'll do the movement right from the thighs. So where your thighs are connecting, that's exactly the place where you move from. When you move from here, you'll also feel the pressure in your lower abdominal muscles. So you have to engage your lower abdominal muscles as well. So here we go. Squeeze and lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go. 1, 2, 3. You will feel a lot of burn around your glutes, quads, hamstrings. Keep your engagement there and the core. You'll not feel pressure on the palms. You'll not feel pressure on the wrist. So that is something you have to remember, that the core has to be engaged. You're not falling forward with the hands. Lengthen. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am looking side because I talk to you. Everybody else will do this movement like this. Okay. Keep your neck neutral in line with the spine. Do not look down and neither you stretch up. Straight. Okay. And then you will do. Nothing else moves. When you are shifting your legs, when you're moving your legs up and down, no other movement should be there. So tuck the core in, lengthen the spine, squeeze, and only the leg moves up and down. Everything else is stable. In fact, your elbows are also stable, not locked, but controlled and stable. Go 21, 2, 3. So all those people feel they are not able to do squats or lunges as of now. All these which we do on the mat, with kneeling, without kneeling, lengthening, hamstrings, pulses, all of them are super effective in increasing that endurance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back. Let's add a variation with the leg and the upper body. Okay. So we're going and doing a half push-up because our upper body will be lifted up. So this is the most easiest way to understand the push-up move here. Okay. Do it slowly. No need to go and touch your nose all the way. But if you can, and I think this is little easy because we are also using the momentum of the leg, which is up here. So squeeze, lengthen, go low. See how far you can take. So you have your palms now. Squeeze. You're gonna lengthen and now go low. Elbows are going closer to the body, just the way we do cobra. Legs are rising up, elbows soft. So this is what? And up. This and up. So if I have to show you from the side, in the movement, I'm keeping my elbow soft and I'm going down like this. Just the push-up move. Just the push-up move. Okay? In this, your spine will not be round. Yeah? And you'll be able to go all the range down. So when I tell you to do a normal push-up, firstly, you all find it difficult to keep your elbows closer to your body. Second, you find it difficult to rise back up like this straight. Why? Because you also have a weight of a lower body coming on. Here, in this variation, your lower body weight is taken away, half of it, and maybe full of it, because the other knee is also down. You understand the movement of push-up here, full, going all the way down and up. So this is a full range movement and up. Don't look to the side, keep looking down. So this is 1, 2. Your leg will not rest down. You will not rest down the leg which is lifted. It has to be a continuous process for you to understand. See it from the side, squeezing, lengthening, palms right under the shoulders. This. Now when I go down, I'm going full and up, but this leg is not resting down. I'll not bring it down. Clear? Let's do it. Now start doing it. Do 10, 15, 20, all the number which you get blocked. We'll do 3 sets. Start. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Your elbows will not flare out. They'll go deep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze. Lengthen that spine. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, same to the other side. Lengthen, palms right under the shoulders. Stretch the leg up and up. So here you go, full deep stretch and up. 1, 2, 3. Lengthen that spine. 4. See how far you can take it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Simple, but little challenging, yeah? But imagine you'll get a hack of doing your push-ups with it. Just take a breather, stretch your palms up, lengthen. Hold it here. A nice deep breath in and out. Stretch each and every vertebrae here on your spine. Lengthen all of that. And rise up. Now try on that move, bird and dog. You remember we did dead bug on the mat? We did it like a few days back. Bird and dog is essentially the same thing, but in a prone position. When we do dead bug, we do it with the spine on the mat. When we do bird and dog, we do it prone position. We are facing the mat like this. Okay. So opposite hand and the opposite leg stretched up. And then tucked in. Then stretched up. Imagine what must be happening with your spine and the core muscles here. You engage your core, you tuck your core muscles in, yeah? And then you lengthen your spine out. Again, in and out. Stretch. Again, in and out. Stretch. Lengthen. In and out. Stretch. Your neck will stay neutral. Keep your neck neutral and land with your spine. See how far you can stretch. Neutral. In. Stretch out. Neutral. In and stretch out. Same to the other side. It's absolutely okay. Like, you know, if you are a beginner and you've started releasing your hand. So all these small wins, they really count. Okay. Don't look at some bigger parameters as of now to understand how your fitness process is going. But earlier you were not able to keep the hand, and now you're able to release one of your hand and work full dead bug movement. Is a lot of strength building up in your body. It's a great sign. It's super improvement. Okay. So never forget to congratulate and pat your back on all those small wins you get every day, because that's exactly the journey. If you're not enjoying the journey, if this journey, which is every day, every moment, is not part of your happiness, then the bigger happiness is way too ahead. If that journey end is the happiness, then this is too far, too long a process. So please start enjoying that everyday move. And in fact, it's happening. When you move, so many feel-good hormones which get released in your body. So that's happening anyways. But also try to do it consciously. Like, wow, I could release my hand and I could do it like that. Say it to yourself. Nobody will be there to do it for you. You have to do it for you. Let's do the other side. Lengthen the leg. Other side, as we did this, yeah. So let's do the other side. Stretch out and in. Out. and in. 8, 3, 8, 4, stretch. Let's see how far you can go. In, 5, 8, 6, keep going. 8, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. Relax up. This time as you relax, you remember the first move we did was this half push-up with the leg up. Let's go down full range to the mat and rise back up. But we will do it in a cobra stance first, okay? Without touching the mat. See? You are here. I want you to push back. And then when you come forward, I want you to go down in a cobra format. So what was the cobra format? Cobra format is you go low and then you rise up without touching the mat. Okay, this is what we do in cobra. We are here. You squeeze our core muscles, engage, and then rise up, right? Without touching the mat. I want you to do the same. Yeah. Let me tap my t-shirt so that you can see what I'm trying to tell you. I want you to not touch the mat. Do it in the cobra format. See, you have your hands here, squeezed. Now go low, just like the way we do in cobra. You're gonna go low, squeeze, 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 squeeze. This, go up. Yeah, without touching the mat. Again, rise up, stretch back. Again, come back forward, squeeze, lengthen, and rise up without touching the mat. Challenging, but still, see your legs are rested down. I'm just letting your upper body ready for push-ups. Yeah, it's perfectly fine if you go halfway down and then like break. It happens, right? What happens is you are here, you rise halfway till here, and then you're like, oh, falling down is a part. Okay, fold up. Okay. Again, try. Again, fall. Again, try. Again, fall. That's how it happens. Yeah. So don't be scared. Oh, I'm falling again and again. Learning. You're learning that how you, this has to go up without the touch. Chest, shoulders, core, all will be used in this process. Okay. Let's try 10 with or without support, in the sense that whether you're falling in and then rising up or whether you're not touching it. 10 still. Okay. A nice deep inhale, squeeze, pull, and then back down. Again, inhale. You will inhale when you rise up. So you're going to go low, squeeze, and rise. And back. Try. I know it's something we're doing for the first time, but try. See, I want you to go low, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze without touching the mat. Rise up. Yes. 3. And back. Wherever you are feeling the pressure, yes, it is also moving to your lats. You'll also feel it in your biceps. Core again, engage. Make sure this is engaged, your powerhouse. Squeeze, back, inhale, and 4. This is, have you seen it on the TV? The very old Hindu way of moving. This is a Hindu push-up, but here we are still using our knees down. Only half of the body is moving like that. Yeah? 5 almost done. 5 more to go. Go. Inhale and rise up. Very good. And back. Inhale. Rise up. 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 And back. Take a breather. Squeeze. Lengthen that. spine, your hips touching your ankles, squeeze and lengthen. Forehead down, take a breather. Okay, on the mat. Let's do the opposite movement to what we just did. We call it jackknife, which means the opposite hand and the opposite leg rises together and try to catch together. Okay, little tricky, but still make sure that it is not coming to your cervical spine. I want your cervical spine to be absolutely relaxed while you are at it. Let's do it. A nice deep inhale, lengthen. So your legs and your hands will open them out in a starfish like this. As far as possible, just open them out like a starfish. And now, tucking the navel in, squeeze, breathe out. You're going to lift both your opposite hand and the opposite leg, like and down, and down, and down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax up. Easy. Let's do to the other side. Anyone who finds it very difficult to lift your leg up straight can bend the knee. Okay, I know jackknife is something we're doing for the first time. Maybe the full stretch is not happening. Easy. Relax and bring it up from the knee. So something like this is also okay to begin with. Plus, anybody feeling the pressure to the lower lumbar spine and here, the neck bridge. Keep your one hand. The hand which is not being used, you can keep it. So for example, we were doing this leg, right? So for here, I'll keep this hand. Can you see how am I placed? Yeah, let me show you the other way. This leg we've already done. So this hand will not be used here. So I'm keeping it back here in the support. Now, every time that I'll be rising up, my bridge of the neck is resting. Can you see? My bridge of the neck is resting. And I'm moving it. There is no point in moving the neck. Make sure that this is getting engaged. You move in from the core. That's exactly what we're targeting. So you breathe out from here. Make sure this is engaging, releasing, engaging, releasing. Yeah. Let's do 10 of these to the other side. There we go. 1, 2. So this, if hamstring is tight, this you can do. Okay. A slight bend in the knee. Toes pointed or toes tucked in, whatever feels more comfortable, but a slight bend in the knee will release your lower lumbar spine. Okay, so inflamed lower lumbar spine, knee bend, inflamed cervical spine, hands up. Okay, do it with variation, but it is again a full body crusher. So imagine you both hands and legs are out. Now only on the power of the core, you crushing it together. How great the movement is. Yeah, keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do a variation. And what will be the variation? The variation is that you go push one side and then you go and push the other side. Just try. If it doesn't happen, keep doing the single side. But just give it a try. Can you do that? Like you push to one side and then you push to the other side. Is that doable? Like this and this. This and this. So your upper body is always engaged. Your upper body is always engaged because you're not keeping your legs down. You're keeping your upper body in action all the time. Navel is engaged. You're breathing out, but you're tapping your upper body up all the time. Yeah, take it easy if it doesn't happen in the first go, but yeah, just keep stretching out and keep pushing your upper body. So something like 1 and 1, 2 and 3 and 3, 4 and 4. Keep going. 5, 5. above the navel. Keep all the muscles above the navel tucked in. So this is a weekend, yeah? So anyways, you'll have an easy day. Just push yourself a little. This is the last move. After this, we'll have a breather. Let's do 10 more. Side and side, tuck and pull. Here we go. So 1 and 1. Upper body up. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Let me pull down. 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay, breather. I'll share the music. Keep your one hand on your navel and keep your other hand on your chest. And feel that breath. Take your knee to the chest, let go of the other. Stretch. see you soon. Till then, take care. Have a great day. Thank you, Sureshji. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Minal. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See you all soon. Take care. Have a rocking weekend.
Thank you so much. It is going to be a rocking weekend only, no doubt on that, because we started.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for for a wonderful session, Minal, and thanks to Aparna ma'am as well as Dr. Shyam, and thanks to all of you for joining today. And hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.